Hi, I hope so you're doing well. Today we are going to discuss about multiple choice questions. And you know that multiple choice questions appear regularly in both the academic and general IELTS reading test. They're fairly simple to complete, but it's easy to get tricked into picking the wrong answer. So why multiple type of questions we are having in our exam? The aim of this type of question is to test if you can understand the main idea. The aim of this type of question is to test if you can understand the main idea of each paragraph, scan for specific information, use detailed reading to differentiate between several possible answers. So they are telling us by themselves in multiple choice questions, they are giving us several possible type of answers and differentiate we have to differentiate between several multiple type of questions. So what do you mean by this? And I observed that students are facing the problem to solve multiple type of questions. There are three things that they want to test from the candidate. And what are the three things? Are the candidate is able to understand the main idea of the paragraph? Can the candidate scan for specific information and use detailed reading to differentiate between several possible answers. If the candidate is able to differentiate between several possible answers according to the passage, then it will be a great, and then you will be able to solve this type of question very well. Okay, how you can solve this type of questions? The task, you will be asked to read the first half of a sentence, a statement or a question about the text. Choose the most appropriate sentence ending response to answer from a choice of a number of options. Usually from four options, you are supposed to choose one option. Only one is correct, although several could appear to be the right one on first reading, so beware. So only one is correct. What is what does it mean? It's mean one answer is correct, although several mean many options could appear to be the right. I mean, you will feel that many options are right. One on first reading, when you will read the first time, you will think that many options are correct, but they are not correct. Only one is correct. So beware from the distractions. They are creating the distractions by themselves for the candidate. So candidate need to know that how to solve this puzzle. So always candidates are asking, ma'am, please share with us tips how to solve multiple task type of questions. So there are not any magic. So only the things that you are supposed to understand. Key tips for this that I have prepared for you. Read the questions first. You should have to read the questions first. If you do this, you will know what you are looking for when you read the text, which will save your lots of time. Okay, second tip is answers will be in order. Always answers are in order for all the questions. Might be one or two answers from the whole text, you will find that not in order, but mostly all answers for each type of questions are in order. So it's very helpful for you that if you find out the answer for one question, then it's probably and most appropriate and 100% sure that the answer for the second question you will find at the end, after the first question. So in paragraph 1 you will find the answer question number 1, in paragraph 2 you will find the question number 2, and in paragraph 3 you will know that answer 3 won't be too much further on the text. Read in detail. What you have to do next, you are supposed to read in detail. First of all, you read the question, then secondly you will go to the paragraph and you will find out the answer, and then after that read the question and area of answer in detail. You will mostly skimming and scanning the text for the answers. You will need these skills are too, but with multiple choice questions the detail is important. Skimming and scanning is very important for the rest of the questions, but for multiple choice of questions you need to read in detail. If you will not read in detail the area of answer, then 100% chances are that you will get wrong answer for your question. Another important thing is that always distractions are there. I mean, you will find that two questions are same and you will feel that these two are almost like the same answer, and same you will feel that these two are the answers. So then you have to choose one from them. But I will explain you later how you have to choose correct answer from those two, you can say, very close answers. Beware that the test setter love to include distractions. The setter love to include distractions in the answer options to try and catch you out. The purpose of the test maker is that to make you feel confused. A prime example is qualifying words such as every, all, most, a few. These are very important for matching headings and for the true false not given as well. These four type of distractions are there, and you can say these are the thieves of the reading that is taking your score from you, and you need to be very careful about every, all, most, a few, all of you. They are only small words, but they can completely change the meaning of a sentence. So these are very small words, but they can completely change the meaning of the whole sentence. So need to be careful. For example, everyone who ate the prawn sandwiches at the party was ill. So here they mentioned everyone. And second, most people who ate the prawn sandwiches at the party were ill. So what is the difference? Everyone and most people. Everyone means all the people from the party, but most people, some people are not sick, but mostly people are sick from the or ill from the party who ate the prawn sandwiches. So this is the difference between everyone and most. So be careful for these type of distractions, and how you will get these type of restrictions, how you will get experience and how you will get more expert. You have to practice a lot, but not only by yourself. You have to discuss with someone who is having the experience how to deal with these type of restrictions. Everyone, most, all, few, a few, a lot, like these type of distractions you can't solve by yourself. You have to discuss it with someone. So be aware from these type of distractors. And most important thing is that don't leave any blank answer. If you really can't decide which answer is right, then guess. There is at least a chance that you will guess correctly and get the correct answer with your guess. Okay, there is one more problem in the reading, that false answers are there, and false answers we are feeling like they are the correct answer. It's also useful to know the types of incorrect answer that might be included. Be alert for answers that give almost the correct information. The answer that is giving the same information that you are finding in the passage. So this is not the correct answer. So you can see that there are some distractors here. So they are here is the examiner is creating distraction for you. The opposite information, it's easy to be fooled by these. If there is opposite information are available, then also it is very easy for the candidate to be fooled by those opposite information. Third one is information that's included in the same paragraph. Information that is included in the same paragraph as the true answer but not relevant to the question. The information will be same according to the question but not the relevant to the question. So it's mean information is there but not relevant to the question. So the answer will not be correct here. Information related to the question which is not included in the text. Okay, some information related to the question but not included in the text, then you might feel that you will guess or assume the answer. Never ever assume any answer in your reading passages, because assuming is not allowed in reading. So you have to read the question and then you have to find out the answer. If you are finding the relative information in the passage, then you will go for the answer, because no assumption is allowed in reading. So today I'm going to share with you some MCQs, how to solve multiple choice questions in academic reading. I will share with you later the rest of the readings as well, how to deal multiple choice question in academic reading and how to deal with in general reading. So let's start today with academic first. So here is four MCQs that we are supposed to solve. Question number 1 to 4. Choose a correct letter A, B, C or D. Write the correct letter in box 1 to 4 on your answer sheet. In paragraph 1, the writer suggests that companies could consider. Companies could consider. So after underlining these words, first I will go to the passage 1. Here we will underline the word companies. could consider. Suggest. It means we need to find out the writer's suggestion. Writers suggest that companies could consider. I mean the companies could consider. Okay, now please read with me carefully again. In paragraph 1, the writer suggests that companies should consider. So, how we will understand the question? So, let's start with me with the passage. Okay, the general assumption is that older workers are paid more in spite of rather than because of their productivity. That might partly explain why, when employers are under pressure to cut costs, they persuade a 55-year-old to take early retirement. So, here they are talking that the general assumption is that older workers are paid more in spite of rather than because of their productivity. So, older workers they are paying more to the older workers, even they are not as much as productive. So, takeaway seniority based. Takeaway. What is the meaning of the takeaway? Do you know the meaning of the takeaway? So find out and try to guess the meaning. I will tell you at the end if you are not able to understand what is the meaning of the takeaway. Takeaway seniority based pay scales and older workers may become a much more attractive employment propositions. So here they are talking about the takeaway seniority based pay scales. Okay, so takeaway seniority based means takeaway is a synonym of abolishing. So here they are talking about the takeaway at a seniority base. It means they should take something on on the base of their age. Takeaway, they should finish something on the base of their age. And but most employees and many workers are uncomfortable with the idea of reducing someone's pay in later life. So here they are talking about the reducing of pay in later life. I mean not take away. This one is take away. This one is reducing. So two ideas are there. One is take away, the other one is reducing. And although manual workers on piece rates often earn less as they get older, so manual workers piece rates. Another option is here. So retaining the services of older workers may mean employing them in different ways. So retaining mean to continue work with them, implying them in different ways. So let's move towards our options now because we have almost read the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. But I am very comfortable with the 3 lines. Always go for the first 3 lines of any passage for finding your answer. So let's now we'll read the options. Abolishing pay schemes that are based on age. So abolishing mean take away. Avoiding pay that is based on piece rate. Avoiding pay. So avoiding pay. Increasing pay. Here they are talking about the increment of the pay for older workers. But we didn't find any information in those 5, 6 lines about the increment of the salary of older workers. Equipping older workers with the new skills. I mean here they are saying to teach them new skills so they can earn more. But this is only assumption. So abolishing, avoiding, increasing and equipping. 4 keywords are here for us. So abolishing, first we find here takeaway. Takeaway mean abolishing. Second, idea of reducing pay. So here second idea is reducing pay, but here they are not talking about the reducing pay. They are asking increasing. So mean increasing. This one is our wrong option. Okay. Then they are talking about here next. Although manual workers on piece rates often earn less than they get older, so retaining the services of older workers may mean implying them in different ways, but not equipping older workers with new skills. They are asking implying them in different ways. Okay, then now we should have to read once or four more. Now we are feeling that these two options, abolishing and avoiding pay that is based on piece rates and abolishing, two options are there. 50-50 chances are there which one is correct. So we will go again in the first half of the passage. We will find that abolishing on the base of age. But let's read next passage as well. One innovation was devised by IBM Belgium faced with the need to cut staff costs. So they're here talking about the cut off, and having decided to concentrate on 50-60 years old skill team. re-employed any of the early retired who wanted to go on working up to age of 60. So here they're talking about the re-employment, but here not they were not talking about the re-employment in the passage. So most probably is that our answer is avoiding. They're not talking about the avoiding, they're only talking about the takeaway. So our option A is the correct answer for MCQs. I hope so you understand, but if still you are confused, then please you can let me know how to solve it again. So now we will read the next question. Skill team is an example of a company. Skill team is an example of a company which. So now we will find out where they are talking about the skill team. So I will go for the keyword skill team. When I was reading previously for the first option, then I find out that there was a word of skill team. So now I need to find it out again. Where was the skill team? So quickly I will go for the called skill team, and one more I find it out that skill team. Okay, so now we find out two words that was related to the keyword here from our question skill team. So now we'll read this in detail. One innovation was devised by IBM Belgium faced with the need to cut off costs and having decided to concentrate cuts on 55 to 60-year-old. IBM set up a separate company called Skill Team, which re-employed any of the early retired who wanted to go on working up to the age of 60. Wanted to go on working up to the age of 60. So there are two numbers here that we will consider. An employee who will join skill team at the age of 55 on a 5-year contract would work for 58% of this time over the full period for 88% of his last IBM salary. So here they are talking about that 58% of his time he will work over the full period for 88% of his last IBM salary. Now we will read the options because they are talking about that they will re-employ the old workers from the age of 55 for 5 years until the age of 60. Offers older workers increases in salary. Here they're talking about increases in salary, but they were not talking about the increment in the salary when we read that passage about the skill team. Allows people to continue working for as long as they want. No, they were not saying that they will continue as long as they want. You can see here they are saying that which re-employed any of the early retired who wanted to go on working up to the age of 60. So up to the age of 60, it's mean not as long as. This is the word that will tell you that this is not the answer. So be careful and concentrate on these type of words because these type of small words are very important for our MCQs. Okay, so this is not the answer. Now allows the expertise of older workers to be put to use. Allows the expertise. Not all expert people will allow the expert people to work with them. Treats older and younger workers equally. They are not talking about the older and younger people, so D will not be an option. So we can see that we are little thinking about the option C. B is also not the option. Offer older worker increase in the salary. So they were not talking about the increment in the salary as well. So A is not the option as well. B is not the option. So allows the expertise of older workers to be put to use. So again, we will go once back in the passage. So and we will find out and we will match the answer if the answer is 100% correct or not. Okay, then you will find out that in this they were asking for the increment in the salary, but no, here they are not talking about the increment of the salary. Like for example, faced with the need to cut staff cost and having decided to concentrate cuts on 55 to 60 years olds, IBM set up a separate company called Skill Team, which re-employed any of the early retired who wanted to go on working up to the age of 60. An employee who joined Skill Team at the age of 55 on a 5-year contract would work for 58% of his time. He will work 58% of his time over the full period of for 88% of his last IBM salary. I mean, how much salary he was receiving in IBM company, he will receive 58% of that. So they are not talking about the company offered services to IBM, this thus allowing to retain access to some of the intellectual capital it would otherwise have lost. So they're not talking about the increment of the salary. They're not talking about the working like as long as they can work, and they are not talking about the equally treating the younger and the older. So what we option left that we are feeling it C. So C is the option because they're not clear talking about allows expertise for older workers to be put to use. So they are allowing the older workers to use their expertise. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move towards our next option. I know the video is getting long, but it is very important to explain to you because mostly people are stuck with the MCQs and I'm explaining here very well. So I hope so that with the explanation of my these only 4 MCQs, you will be able to solve this question very well. So our question number 3, according to the writer, bridge jobs. What are bridge jobs? So we need to find out the word first with bridge because they are here under the in the inverted commas. If you find something is inverted in the inverted commas, you will find it same in the passage as well. So now first of all we move towards the passage and we will find out the word bridge jobs. So I will start my answer from the paragraph where I find out my previous answer. So I will start my next answer to, you can say, scan for the word big job from the same line. Okay, here I will find out, no, I cannot find here big jobs. The best way to implement. So let's move to your eyes with me. So here the word is bridge jobs at the end of their working life general. It is the best paid and worst paid who carry best paid. Always take care of these type of hyphens as well, inverted commas as well. If you find anywhere inverted comma hyphen, then you can feel that your answer will be around this area. There seems to be two very different types of bridge. Here again I find it out the word bridge holder, those who continue. So I mean that I can find out my answer in the last passage. So let's read the options now because I find out two keywords, two words here in the passage about my keyword from the question. Like my previous questions, now I will underline the keywords here in this question. Tend to attract people in middle salary ranges. Okay, attract people in middle salary ranges are better paid than some full-time jobs. Then comparison here, better paid. Then full-time jobs. So then comparison here, so we will find out where is the comparison. But I didn't find the comparison when I was reading the passage. Originated in the US. So two keywords are here, originated and US. Appeal to distinct groups of older workers. Distinct groups. No, I didn't find the information. Still, we will go for the detailed information. Then we will find out that. According to the writer, bridge jobs. So what are the bridge jobs according to the writer? We need to find out this information in detail now in the paragraph. So I carefully read all the information because in the first they are asking about the middle salary range, in the second they are comparison better paid than the full-time jobs, third originated in the US, and fourth one appeal to distinct groups of older worker. Okay, there is one problem is here that in the options always when we are reading in the reading passage we are feeling that all options are same, but all options are not same. There are slight difference in the answer, so you need to find out the difference. I mean, always look for the things like that are very specific. For example, middle salary range, better paid, comparison better paid than full time job. Okay, originated in the US and appeal to distinct groups of older workers. So now let's move again back towards the paragraph. So in the option there was part-time or temporary employment that creates a more gradual transition from full-time work to retirement. So they are saying the best way to attempt the old to go to on working may be to build on such big jobs, part-time or temporary employment that creates a more gradual transition from full-time work to retirement. They're asking full transition from full-time work to retirement. And in the option they were saying are better paid than some full-time jobs, but they are not saying here a better paid. They are saying transition. They're talking about the more gradual transition from full-time work to retirement. So what it is, it's mean our option B is no more the part of our this answer family. And so let's move towards our next. Studies have found that in the US. Okay, now I find out there the word US. As here we were having the word, we are having the word US as well in option C. So let's read this carefully because might be this is the answer. Studies have found that in the US, nearly half of all men and women who had been in full-time jobs in middle age moved into such bridge job at the end of their working lives. They are talking about the men and women. Half of men, all men and women, they moved towards the bridge jobs. So let's now read again our answer. Option C, originated in the US. Here they are talking about the originated. Originated mean to start from, but here they are not talking about the start from. They are saying US, nearly half of all men and women who had been in full-time jobs in middle age moved into such bridge jobs. They are moving into such bridge jobs in the US, but this job is not originated in the US. So these type of things you need to be very careful. Here they are asking about the originated, but here they are telling about the moving. So this is also not the option for our answer. So now we will move towards next. So now we are supposed to move towards our next option. Two options we are having now, option A and option D. So we will think about it now. Let's read next passage. There are seems to be two very different type of bridge holders. Now they are talking about the two very different types of bridge job holders. Those who continue working because they have to work, and those who continue working because they want to. They're talking two type of people who first they have to work and the second one they want to work. I mean the first one is for the first group of people it's compulsion for them, they have to work, and the second one they want to work. It's not compulsion for them, they can get retirement but they want to work even though they could afford to retire. So in our option B, in our option A, they are talking tend to attract people in middle salary ranges. So they are not, there is no any information about the attraction of the people towards a middle salary range. So it's mean our option A is not appeal to distinct groups of older workers. So now let me explain to you how we can say our answer is D. Appeal mean to appeal them, to attract them to distinct mean clear groups of older workers people. Distinct, if we go for the synonyms of the distinct, then you will find out that there are many synonyms of the distinct word. Clear cut, definite, also well defined, sharp, marked or decided. So it's they are talking about clearly about two groups of people. I mean, the two group of people, they are clear from the rest of the group. So rest of the people they are distinct from the others. So appeal to distinct groups of older workers. Groups. They are talking about here word groups mean two groups, as they were talking about here. In the one group they have to work, and the second group they want to work. Two types of group need to work. Appeal to distinct groups of older workers, and they are older workers as well. Two groups are there, and appeal, they are appealing, they one group have to work and the other group they want to work. So our option is D. So I hope so you understand how to locate the correct answer in MCQs. Now we will move towards our next question. Next question is David Story's study found that. David Story. Now we need to find out the name David. So let's work with me. Okay, in the second line, we find out the word David or his study. Find out that you found that in Britain, 70% of business started by people over 55 survived. So his university found that Britain 70%. So now we will move towards our questions options. So now here first we will underline the keywords. As we are supposed to talk about diverse study, it is always excellent. One option you will mostly find like that, and this is very easy to find out the answer for this type of question if they are giving you the name. People demand more from their work as they get older. More. They are talking about more from their work. Okay, older people are good at running their own businesses. talking about the older people, good. So running is will also be there a keyword. An increasing number of old people are self-employed. Self-employed, increasing number of old people. Increasing number of old people are self-employed. Few young people have their own business. Few young people. This few are always alarming. Few, little, more, many, most. You need to be very careful, especially in the MCQs and in true, false, not given, yes, no, not given. These type of words. People have their own businesses. So now I underlined the keywords. Now I will go for the answer in. I will go for the details in the paragraph. I need to only focus on the word David. Where is the word David? So I just need to find out what he found out from his study. So David word was there. David story of Warwick University found that in Britain, 70% of businesses started by people over 50 survived. So, over 50 survived compared with an overall national average of only 19%. So, I will not go here and there. I will only focus on these two lines. You can say people demand more from their work because we need to only find out what David study find out, and here will be self-employed. Story of Warwick University found that. David study found that. So we need to focus on only this line. In this line, they're not talking about people, older people demand more salary, because here they're saying 70% of business they started by people over 55 survived compared with an overall national average of only 19%. I mean 19% of overall national businesses, people who are starting average age, the 70% started by the people who survived 55. So they're not demanding more salary. Older people are good at running their own businesses. Yes, to somehow I'm feeling that this is good. An increasing number of older people are self-employed. No, they're not self-employed. A few young people have their own businesses. There is little information, like as they're saying that no, an overall national average of only 19%. So some people will think that might be D is the option, because they are saying few young people have their own business, but they're not talking about the few young people, they're not talking about their own business. They're saying 70% business are started by the people who survived 55 overall from the national average of 19% from the British. I mean from 100 out of 100, 70% business are started by the old people who survived 55. So our answer will be older people are good at running their own businesses. Our option is B. So B is the option and D is also not the answer. I hope so you understand today's this all how to solve your questions for MCQs. If you are facing any problem, please let me know. I will help you, and I hope so this video will be very useful for you. Best of luck. अब ऐसा ना हो कि